Okay, welcome to another general vlog video. As promised, I'm going to do an individual rundown on this vehicle. This is a 1932 Plymouth PB Coupe Custom. This actually has a little bit of a background. And the background is, this was actually started to be built by George Barris with Barris Customs. I have all the proof of that. They didn't know that they built it at first. This was built back in his original garage, the one that burnt, that him and his brother had. This started out to be a movie car. Now, I'm going to get into that here in just a little bit, but basically what happened was he started on it before he got funding on it. And before he got funding, they changed their mind and decided to go with like a European company or something, because that's where I want to say movie, but it's not really, it's an animated movie, was going to be broadcasted first, was there. So they decided to go with that. But we'll get into that here in a little bit. What this is, motor-wise, is I think it's a 1972 Chevy 350 that has a lot of modifications. Everything is brand new on it, internal on the motor. And I went with Eagle crank, Eagle connecting rods, flat top pistons, a lot of different on that. I did build the motor myself. It is a stroker. It is a 401 stroker. The same as a 383 stroker, except for it has a larger bore on the cylinder heads, on the cylinder walls, I guess. And it has a hotter cam in it. It's a special milled ground cam. It's cranking out about 501 horsepower dynoed on gas. There's no blowers, there's no turbos, there's no nothing. And that's what I was setting out to build, was to see if I could achieve over 500 horsepower on pump gas without a lot of expensive add-ons and modifications. Now, did it get expensive to have the motor done? Yes. I did most of it myself. Of course, I cannot bore out cylinders, so I had to have that done. And I went ahead and had it tanked and everything while it was there. But I did all the work. I did all the stroking myself. That didn't sound good, did it? I did all the strokes myself. If you can get on YouTube, you can watch videos on how to do that. It's real simple. Just a little bit of grinding. Don't be afraid of a grinder. Went with just the standard Baby Moon hubcaps, wide white walls. These are actually motorcycle mirrors. I was trying to find a style and design that I liked, and this is what I come up with. I liked how they mounted through the cowling, so they're stable. They don't shake or vibrate. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I have solid mounted motor mounts. The motor mounts were actually made out of Jeep shackles. I cut them in half and welded them in there. Excuse me. Didn't have to do a whole lot of modifications. They just seem to fit right into the stock, which is here, the stock motor mount off the side of the motor. They slid right in there, and I was able to put some grade 8 bolts through it. But the transmission is rubber mounted. So with a solid mounted motor and a rubber mounted transmission, I get no vibration. But I was worried that I would. That's why I wanted a solid mount mirror. The interior is the back seat out of a 66 Mustang fastback. This is the back seat. This back right here would actually lay down in a Mustang. They were in really, really, really rough shape when I got them. I just bought the professional style seat cover that you use the hog rings to put on. Took all the old off, replaced all the foam, and put these on there. And then a standard just shifter and GT Grant wheel. And I've got my gauges. Now, I did end up dropping some extra gauges in here when I first did the car, before I had the other gauges all hooked up. I don't know if you can get a good view of that or not. But yeah, I dropped those gauges. I need to take those out. As you can see, the speedometer is off. I actually broke that. At 120 mile an hour, it came off. I don't know if it broke or just fell out of there or what it did. And you can see at the time, I'd only done about 25 miles on this thing. So that's it. The back glass it's all a steel frame. It's actually sitting on a 32 Ford frame. It's a steel body that has a lot of lead in it. The top is hand-laid fiberglass. And it is extremely, extremely, extremely thick. I don't know if you can see that, but what I'll try to do is pull that down. That's how thick that top is. It's really, really, really thick. And that's to keep from any cracking or anything to happen. It kind of helps. I don't remember what style the turn signals and brake lights are. Geez, I think it's like 36 Ford or something. Everybody else runs them as a teardrop. They would actually run them the other way. They would flip those around to look like a teardrop. But I didn't want to be like everybody else. So I flipped them up the other way. And they are actually flush mounted in there. I could have recessed them, I just didn't like that look. And once again, I don't remember what year of a trunk handle I used. I think it was a 32 Ford trunk handle. I did use a lot of 32 Ford on this. And we'll raise up this trunk and give you a view of inside the trunk. Now, inside the trunk is pretty basic. I do have my battery box located back here. There was nowhere else to mount it. It's all been carpeted. That's my gas filler. That's how I put gas in. Has a very small gas tank, 6 gallon. So I go pretty much gas station to gas station. And it even has the original light that goes up here. Painted it red, just contrast of it. But this has all been chopped and modified. These hinges are off of a Dodge minivan. I was able to get the hinges for those and mount them in there and make it look good. Or at least I think it looks good. It's a 32 Ford rear bumper. Just happened to luck up and get that. And the rear turn signals, these up here are only two-way lights. They can be brake and running lights, but they can't be brake, running lights, and turn signals. So those are brake and running lights, and then down here are the turn signals. Picked these up years ago from Napa or somewhere. They got the little hood over top of them, and I dropped them down there. I didn't have to drill through anything. I actually used the mounts for the bumper on it. So that's those. Dual exhaust all the way through. True duals, I guess they would call them. And once again, back to about the same. These are 32 Ford door handles. That's what was on it when I got it. And kind of a strange story. I wanted new on this one. So I took the old ones off, and that is actually what's on the truck over there, which we'll be doing here soon. But, you know, I think I've pretty much covered everything inside. It is a 1970 Corvette steering column, tilt and telescopic, which you really need in this car. Because as you can see where the brake pedal is located, it's almost like driving a go-kart. My master cylinder and everything is right down below that. And I wanted to use the original brake pedal, as you can see there. I'll try to zoom in on that. I wanted to use that. Now I just have the spoon, which I don't even see from here, gas pedal on it. So basically that's what this is. A lot of work. I enjoyed every single minute of it. Like I said, it has the safety glass front and back. The back, when I got it, somebody had built this top and it had steel reinforcement on the inside, which it didn't need, so I cut all of it out and was able to, I don't know if you can see or not, I was able to carpet that up there, kind of like a headliner. And the rear window was real small, so I just kind of cut it out and formed it the way that I wanted to, and got a kind of a larger rear window. Now, if you've noticed that these windows front and back are tinted, it's tinted inside of the glass, and it's not an extreme tint. As you can see, you can still see the truck tire through there. I just wanted a little bit of a sleek black look on the motor. Back to the motor, you know, it's got everything that's really on here is kind of low budget. You know, like I didn't buy the best headers in the world. I didn't buy, you know, the best valve covers in the world. I bought what I wanted. Chrome alternator. It's got a lot of chrome on it. I went with a red block because I was kind of trying to go for that rat rod look. Although it's by no means really a rat rod because there's no rust on it. The frame has been boxed. It's a 32 Ford frame, and it's been boxed. It needs an X frame in it somehow, some type of a support, and I'll get into that here in just a second. The grill shell is a 32 Ford that I cut down to give it that lower sleek look to fit in there. The actual grill itself is something that I made. It's just basically, that's not expanded metal. I'm not sure what they call that. But anyways, I found the ring and just kind of put that in there myself. The headlights up front are new modern. I have the bar that goes across it, the original bar, but I didn't like the looks of it, so I just took where the bar mounted and mounted these lights through there. The only reason I went with these lights instead of the original lights that come on it, now not the original lights to it, but the original lights come on it are right there. And once again, I wanted new on this, and I wanted my turn signals built in. And if you can see, right there is a turn signal bulb. So the turn signals are built into this. Now we're going to get a lot of questions, you know, oh, you didn't do this right, or why did you do this? You know what, I did this for my taste and my taste only. And apparently I must have done something right because I've won like 25 or 30 trophies with it. And that's pretty good for me. That's more than I ever expected. Now, I was kind of telling you a little while ago what this car was built for. I contacted George Barris years ago when I first got the vehicle, and I sent him pictures of it. I assumed it was him, and actually it wasn't. I was talking to somebody else there at the shop. This is all via email at the time. And they said no, they did not build it. I guess whoever it was I was speaking to in email took it to George, a picture of it, and George said, no, I did not build that. So, you know, that's what I was told when I bought it. So I thought, well, you know, I was lied to. Imagine that. It did not look like this when I bought it. It was kind of a burgundy red. It needed a whole lot of body work as far as finished, because it had never been finished. So there was exposed lead, you know, and just the body was really, really, really horrible. And everything else I've done. Anyways, fast forward about a year later. It may not have been a year. It may only have been like 7 months. That kind of sticks in my head. I get an email and ask me, by chance, was this car ever a convertible? And I said, yes, it was. I was told that when I bought it, the gentleman that was building the top actually died while he was building the top. Not because of building the top, but he died during that time frame. So I knew that the top did not come on it originally. And of course it wouldn't be a fiberglass top mated to a steel car anyways. So they explained to me that yes, he did kind of build this car. He kind of went to the junkyard and picked up a 32 Plymouth body, and at the time it was on a different frame, and probably the 32 Plymouth frame, I'm guessing at that one. The front fenders, we're not really sure what they come off of. They said George thought it might have been a LaSalle. I can't verify that. So if you know anything about this design in this fender, I'll try to get a close-up on it, and you know what that come off of, let us know. And that lip runs all the way down and all the way down and through to here to where your running boards would be. Now these running boards are homemade, so it's just everything's been blended in. So we got proof that George Barris built it, and I was really excited. To me, it does not help the value of the car. That's not what I was after. So basically, come to find out, and this isn't just like come to find out through the internet or anything. I mean, I have, you know, documents stating this. This was actually supposed to be Cruella de Vil's car in 101 Dalmatians. Hence the back trunk, why it had been made to open this way, was for merchandise and memorabilia for the show when it opened. And it was supposed to, you know, you could stack it here versus, you know, the original way that it was. Now the hinges and everything on it that they had used were kind of homemade. I did away with all that. And the top that was on it, I did end up getting to see a picture of the original top that was on it, and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. It was a kind of a taupe color top, and it come from right here and come up really high and really looked stupid, and it had a large opening over on the side, and I couldn't figure that out. And then through word to George Barris, he come back to me and said, well, he got a hold of somebody that come back to me and said that was for photo opportunities. This is a very I'm 6 foot tall, and when I get in there, my head hits the ceiling. So if they got a woman to dress up like Cruella de Vil, she needed room in there. And they didn't want anything to get in the way for pictures, for the media and stuff taking pictures of it. They wanted her to be able to be seen, whoever dressed up like her. So anyways, that's what I have. And one thing I did want to show, this dash in here. I'm going to go to the other side because I don't feel like I'm getting a very good view of it. The dash is actually crocodile belly. It's real. And actually found out at the time that it is illegal to purchase it the way that I did. I actually got it off of eBay many years ago, and it looked like, you know, it was a legit deal. And I told them, they said they could dye it any color I wanted. Well, I wanted red. So they dyed it red. Sent it to me. On the dash that's actually there is wood, is actually the original stretching board that they put the croc belly over. And they sent it to me on that to keep it from shrinking. So I utilized that and made my dash out of it. But it was so red, dyed. Now that dye does not come off there. I was really impressed with the way that they did that. And I used some of it down here. And I also used some in the truck too. I'll show you. But it was red and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. It was a different color red than my seats. And so what I ended up doing was, you know, kind of trying to get some of the detail to pop out. And I used black shoe polish. I just put black shoe polish on there and then wiped it all off. And everything that was down inside of those ridges, because that's all textured, all stayed black. And it just gave it an awesome look. And it kind of blended it from a bright, ugly red down to almost like a burgundy, like my seats are. It's not exact, but it's closer. So anyways, there you go. That's it. That is my 1932 Plymouth PV Custom Coupe. That is by title only, because really just the body itself is what that is. The frame is different, the front fenders are different, the rear fenders are different, the top is different. Everything is just so highly customized. Anyways, if you like this video, please like and subscribe and share this video. A lot of people on your social media groups, Facebook, Pinterest, any of those, may like to see this. So please share the video and like and subscribe. We'd like to have you part of our family. We are general vlog videos, and we'll be posting a lot of videos about a lot of different subject matters, and we'll be doing a lot of product reviews too. Anyways, there's the car. Thank you for viewing.